Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Pitch Talk.
We are fans of football dropping vlogs, blogs, videos and podcasts on the beautiful game.
Check out our videos on YouTube and Instagram's IGTV,
including special feature segments, vlogs such as
5 Minutes with the G,
The Straight Shooting View,
Coaching with JBK,
audio on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts,
Podomatic, Spotify,
Mixcloud
and other podcast platforms.
Join the Pitch Talk revolution on Twitter, Instagram,
Facebook
and our official website www.pitch-talk.com.
The pitch is where we eat,
the pitch is where we sleep,
and the pitch is where we talk.
I can see you now. I can see you now and then. I can see you now.
Welcome to
Coaching with JBK. Welcome. It's yours truly with JBK, by the way. JBK. Yours truly with a special. Now, I'm going to talk about this, and the reason why I'm going to talk about this is we have seen another sacking in the WSL of a manager, and ironically, a manager of a team that's just coming up from the divisions, who had a very impactful season last season, and now is no longer in a job. Just for now. It's interesting because the reason why I'm asking this, most managers before this wouldn't have been sacked. They just would have been moved on. Or they would have left under their own will because it just got too much for them. Now, my question to this is, for those that want to try and put and implement some big challenges and big changes, what is it going to take? So, one of those managers this season at Birmingham City only came in during the summer. Literally had a lot of players leave, and at the same time a lot of staff leave, and at the same time also had to implement new players as well. So you got a whole bunch of things that are happening at Birmingham City, which has caused him to lose his job. Hasn't really got the results this season. Has already got one result, which, if I remember correctly, was a draw. But that's not played into his hands because, again, the team has lost pretty much all their other games. Now, I get that. That's a big thing for me. That's a big thing. We also look at the fact that Willie Kirk, earlier this season, Everton, left his post despite the upturn of the team. Despite the upturn, he saw that there were he oversaw three losses, and in the next two games, oversaw two wins. Next thing you know, he leaves his post. Now, he has his reasons, and I'm not going to go into them. I'm not going to divulge. But now we go into Leicester City. Leicester City have now sacked their manager. Obviously, from results, nothing was working well. And if you look at the result on the last week Sunday against Everton, with the last 10 minutes of the game, especially against Brighton as well, last 3 minutes of that game, ironically, into extra time, they've gone and conceded 2 goals against Manchester City, 3-1. When Manchester City on the ropes, they took the lead, couldn't hold on. Now, the question that I would ask is, if Leicester City are going from semi-pro to professional, would you not give the manager time just to implement what professional looks like to players who, from a lot of the time, haven't been a part of a professional setup? Would you not give him a little bit more of a season? Yes, he may go down. Or yes, but now the question is this to do with money? Or is this to do with the fact that the results are not going well? The question that's a massive question in my opinion, because 3 coaches have lost their jobs this season. 2 have been replaced already. This one is only fresh. It's only happened today. And I get why they've done it. They want to basically stay in the Premier League. In the Super League, I've done it again. They want to stay in the Super League as best as possible in the WSL. But are you running the risk of now only choosing a manager because the money is there? Are you only running the risk of basically taking a team to the top of the WSL table with resources that you don't necessarily have? And when I say that, I'm thinking, well, are they going to do a Newcastle and go and find the top manager, go and buy as many players as possible that are at the top of the game, release a few players just so that they can balance the books, find themselves at the top echelons of football, of women's football, and say that it was all a collective effort? It wasn't a collective effort. It was the fact that money's now in the game. That there's an added bonus or added incentive to stay in the WSL. The TV rights deal era. It wasn't there before. So would any of those coaches have lost their jobs? Not sure. I don't think so. They may have walked away because it was a lot to deal with, but we've not seen a sacking from the WSL too often. It's not happened too often. A lot of managers have just walked away. I refer you to Matt Beard, who is now at Liverpool, was at West Ham for 3.5 years. Left. His team was doing all right. They weren't in the top 5, but West Ham weren't going down either. So he left. And this is after a season where he actually got them to the Women's FA Cup final. So something must have happened for him to want to walk away. He's now at Liverpool. They're doing well in the Championship. That's another question that you have to ask. With things now changing because money's in the game, is this going to be a massive change for all of women's football going forward? And what type of change is it going to be? Is it going to be a positive change or a negative change? Will it mean that women's football now has a direct competitor, in a sense of, if I'm competing against the person next to me with a bunch of results that aren't going their way, I could be the person that puts them out of a job? Similarly, if it's going well, if it's not going well, on my side, my next game could be my last. Is that the direction that we're going in? Are we going to give managers time? Or is it going to be something where we just say, nope, you've had your time, the results have not been good enough, even if it's only half a season, we need to stay in the WSL. We just got to. So, there's a few questions there for me. And it's going to be an interesting one to see what the answers will be coming back. But at the moment, I'm hoping everybody's had a fantastic week. And there are international matches coming up. Let's see how many managers are still going to be in a job by the end of it. And I don't just mean the international game. I mean in the WSL, going across Europe, any that move from one place to another. You never know. Who would you like to see in the hot seat at Leicester now? What do you think the WSL needs for a top manager to actually show their worth? What does a WSL manager look like? Do they look like Emma Hayes? Or are they just somebody who knows how to get the results and the best out of the players that they've got? I know Emma Hayes can do it, but she's doing it at Chelsea. So Leicester City cannot take that manager. So the question will be, who's next at Leicester City? Birmingham City still looking for a coach. You never know. Who's next? Will we see the resurgence of female coaches coming through? We already have 3, and they're doing pretty well. Will we see Casey Stoney come back, or somebody else take a role? It'll be interesting to see, that's for sure. Pitch Talk and JBK is signing off with another special about managers and coaches. Guys, you have been amazing to have around. Thank you for supporting the Pitch Talk voice, and I hope you guys have a good weekend of football action, regardless of where you are. Okay? Have a good week. Have a good weekend. I'm signing off. Yours truly, JBK. Back. Peace.
Join the Pitch Talk revolution.
Check out the official Pitch Talk website.
www.pitch-talk.com